Hi students, and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian. I'm streaming to you from beautiful Hungary here in Central Europe. I hope everybody is having a good week. This is a members chat class focusing on the writing section of the IELTS, specifically writing task 2. And I'm going to explain to you what is a standard band 9 essay. Welcome, Elite. Good to see our members already coming into the class. I see you shorten your name, Elite, to just Elite. Perfect. Abhishek, welcome. Again, this lesson is presented to you by aehelp.com. For academic IELTS success, visit us there. For the general IELTS, check us out at IELTShelp.com. On both of our websites, we have lots and lots of materials to help you, including professional editing services for Task 1, Task 2 essays. And our students that use our editing and speaking services always improve their band scores. Welcome, Ferdovs. Hi, Nick Hill. Hi, Fennel. Nice to see more of you joining in. This is our academic website here for the academic IELTS. You can click that big red button to join our premium package. And this is the general version of our website with the green background. Again, you can click that big red button to join us there. I see Elite here. Exclamation mark there. No, it's good. It's good to refine and revise, Elite. And part of good writing, Elite, is to make changes as you see necessary. So it's good that you're being proactive with things like your avatar and your name. That's a good thing. Okay. So, students, if you have questions, send me an email, adrian@aehelp.com. If you are using mobile applications, download our app, Academic IELTS Help, link it to your web account, or download our General IELTS Help app and link it to your web account. Just search for these terms in your Play Store. And today we will have another class. So we have two classes today. We have the task 2 right now. And then, of course, we'll have a listening practice session where everybody can join in on the chat. Also, okay, let's get into today's task 2 question. This was requested by one of our members. I don't remember who it was. Maybe one of you will say, hey, that was me. But I do remember it was a request. And I believe it was also a question from a previous IELTS exam not so long ago. Anyhow, here is the question. So again, your first step is always to read the question carefully. So again, remember, I'm teaching you how to standardize, systematize your high-level Band 8, Band 9 writing. Abhishek says, it was me, sir. I knew somebody would claim that question. Good question, Abhishek. We'll take a look at this, okay? So here we go. All right. So some people believe that allowing children to make decisions on everyday matters, such as food, clothes, entertainment, is likely to result in a society of individuals who only think about their own wishes. Other people believe that it is important for children to make decisions about matters that affect them. Discuss both these views and give your own opinion. Okay, an interesting question. And of course, again, IELTS is discussing a topic that is a common question to many people around the world. Members, have you noticed that oftentimes the questions for task 2 writing, by the way, speaking part 2 also, they're usually questions that many people in many different cultures are thinking about in their day-to-day life because it's a part of their modern existence or their modern experience. So I think people in India, people in Kazakhstan, people in Uzbekistan and Russia, Brazil, Colombia, I think a lot of parents and a lot of people see this type of situation where children are able to make a lot of choices, and some parents really try to force choices on their children, while other parents often let their children choose a bit more freely. Okay, you're very welcome, Abhishek. uh, is everyone in agreement? Have you thought about this? So have some of you thought, it's interesting that some parents really let their kids do whatever they want, and other parents are much more controlling. How many of you have thought about this at some point during your day-to-day life? If you haven't, it's okay. I'm just kind of curious whether this is an idea or a concept that people think about in different parts of the world. Okay, let me know. That's a question. So, do you see this in your culture? Do you see this in your country? Okay. All right, so we read the question. We're thinking about it. That's what I'm doing right now is I'm getting you to think about it, to visualize it, okay, conceptualize it. All right. Elite says, I have. Nikhil says, yes, I have. Maksud says, yep. Honey says, in my case, my parents have allowed me to do the things I want to do. Fennel says, I've seen it. Yeah. So it definitely sounds like this is a common experience. All right. Keep that in mind, everyone, that when IELTS chooses their Task 2 question, they're usually choosing, not usually, always choosing a question that's a common experience, okay? So keep in mind that IELTS presents candidates with questions which are common situations to most people around the world, regardless of culture, religion, gender, and ethnicity. Okay? Why is that important? This is important because this means that most candidates should have a wealth of information about the question or about the answer as long as they take some time to think about it critically and visualize. Okay, so whenever I hear candidates saying, I've never thought about, I don't care about that, whatever, I don't know anything, I'm just going to skip this question, I'm just going to write about something else. Okay, no, don't do that, all right? Take a deep breath, calm down. The question is common to most people, most likely you. I would say 99.5% of the population. So you have information, you just need to really focus and think about it the right way. Okay? All right, so let's do that. And this is, of course, the planning stage, and planning is extremely important. Students who get high bands in the IELTS and also who do well in school plan their essays, plan their projects, plan their presentations. They plan, okay? Planning goes a long way. It's very true. Keep that in mind. I didn't invent this. It's the way the world works. All right. So the first step is to paraphrase the question. When you're practicing at home, write this down always, okay? So let's paraphrase this question. Now, this is not our essay yet. This is simply a part of our planning stage, okay? So paraphrasing can become a part of the essay, but initially, at the beginning, it's simply just a part of the planning stage. So go ahead, members, paraphrase this question, and then let's compare, okay? I'm going to do that as well. Paraphrasing means to state the question again using different words. So some people, certain individuals, okay? So All right, so I'm being a little bit quiet here so that you can think while I'm thinking as well and typing. Okay, I hope everybody's typing as well. Now, this is a long question. Okay, so all right, so here we go. Let's see if anybody so far has come up with their answer. I'm just going to do a refresh here. Hopefully that'll catch up the chat for me. All right. So, Fennel says, due to competitive environment, many parents have a controlling nature towards their children. Conversely, many believe that giving freedom will result in more productivity in real life. Fennel, I don't think you're paraphrasing there. I think you're already giving some explanation and some definition. So what you have there, Fennel, I think can be a part of your essay, but you're jumping ahead, and that can be dangerous, okay, because you might miss some important points. So the idea of paraphrasing the question is that you don't miss important points, okay? OS says some individuals think that allowing kids to make their own choices on a daily basis as clothes, food, enjoyment is causing a certain group in the community to enjoy doing only this. On the other side, okay, Ois, you're on the right track. You got to finish that up, okay? Careful with this part, okay? So are driven by self-gratification only, all right? Self-gratification means that I want to do only such activities that make me feel good and happy about myself and kind of be greedy at the same time, okay? So I'm greed driven in this case, all right? So here is my paraphrase. Certain individuals ascertain that permitting youth to make choices on daily subjects like food, attire, and activities is probably going to create a culture of people that are driven by self-gratification only. Opposite to this belief, some suggest that it is necessary for kids to make their own choices about issues which impact them. Discuss both and give your own thoughts. Now, this is very important. So here, because of this part, you know, people are always asking me, what do I need to include in my essay? Well, the question always tells you what you need to include in your essay. So here, you have to discuss both and you have to give your own thoughts, okay? So there's kind of three elements to this essay. One element is the side that you don't support. One element is the side that you support. I mean, you have to discuss both of them, okay? All right. Okay, I see some more paraphrasing coming up. Being able to paraphrase accurately the question is a very important skill. Lois continues, on the other side, some people believe that the young must make decisions on serious issues which affect them in their lives. Okay, always good attention to detail in that part. Abhishek says many individuals ascertain that letting teenagers make choices on day-to-day activities like food, clothes, and entertainment is probable to a consequence of people who just ponder about themselves, however, who are selfish, okay? So Abhishek, use your vocabulary carefully. Who are just selfish, okay? Selfish. People who think about themselves are selfish, okay? That's the word. Selfish, I-S-H. However, other individuals believe it's imperative for youngsters to make choices about materials that pertain to them. Interrupt is not the accurate word there, Abhishek, but good try. The other point to really be careful about, Abhishek, is teenagers. The question doesn't say teenagers, it says children. And this can mean even 3, 4, 5-year-olds that are very far from teenagehood. Okay, so careful with restricting the controlling ideas. Okay. Elite says few individuals think that letting kids make choices on daily subjects like food, clothes, and activities will result in making a culture of people become selfish. Very nice, Elite. Nick Hill says certain individuals ascertain that permitting youngsters to make choices on day-to-day life, such as food and clothes we wear, that we are going to enjoy, it's probably going to create a community of people who feel about their own freedom. Okay, I don't think you understood that last part correctly there. A community of people who are selfish, not about their own freedom. Also, Nick Hill, don't introduce the pronoun we. Okay, so students, work really hard to keep the we, the us, our out of it. Okay, keep it third person when you're paraphrasing here. All right. However, others think that it's significant for kids to make their own choices about issues which impact their life. Okay, good. All right, now here is an interesting question. Okay, so what is the topic? This is our next step in our planning stage. Okay, so the topic means what is this essay aimed to discuss? Okay, so again, read the original question, okay, and identifying the right topic, as we have often debated on, is very important for success on task 2 and for high scores. So let's read the original question and then think about the topic. This is the kind of practice you have to do at home to get the right ideas, write the correct information, and get a higher band score, okay? So one more time, some people believe that allowing children to make decisions on everyday matters such as food, clothes, entertainment is likely to result in a society of individuals who only think about their own wishes. Other people believe that it is important for children to make decisions about matters that affect them. Discuss both these views and give your own opinion. So what's the topic? So Maksud says whether children should be given the freedom of choice or not. Okay, I think that's more the controlling idea. Okay, Ois says it's about children's choices. Again, I think that's more a part of the controlling idea. Fennel says it's controlling children's decisions. It's still not the right answer, I think. Abhishek says children's choices on everyday matters. Okay, Ferdov says the topic is controlling the choices of the young generation. I don't think so. Okay, I think those are still just controlling ideas. Honey says how much freedom should be allowed to children. Okay, sometimes a good way, and now I'm going to teach you a little tip or a trick here to help you, because I realized the other week when we were doing this task 2 why this is a little bit difficult. Okay, all right, so think about it this way. Why is this essay aimed to discuss Okay, so notice what I did here. I asked the why about this question. Okay, Ferdovs, you're getting closer. So Ferdov says it's about parental styles. All right. Let's ask a secondary question. Why is this essay aimed to discuss whether or not children should be allowed to make decisions on their daily matters? So why are we talking about this? This is where, if you think about the importance of the essay, you can often identify the topic. So often, when you identify the importance of the question, you identify the topic. Okay? So why talk about this? So why would we say, yeah, it's okay, or no, it's not okay? What is the end goal? Think about this as well. Okay, a little bit more help here. And you can apply these questions. All right, very important skill for university and university essays. Okay, if you're still having trouble, picture yourself as the parent. So I'm a parent who decided that I'm going to let my child make their own choices. Why am I doing that? Okay, so again, one more time, I'm a parent. I decided that I'm going to let my child make their own decisions on their everyday matters. Why am I doing this? What's my purpose as a parent? And for those of you who are parents, of course, this is a little bit easier because you ask this question from yourself more frequently. So Lubna, it's still not children's rights. It's children's something, but it's not children's rights. Okay? Okay, so Ois says to raise confident kids. Okay? Right, Ois. So in essence, what am I talking about? So Abhishek says, good. So now you're thinking, so the thinking that you're doing, Honey and Elite and Abhishek and Fennel, that's the kind of critical thinking, right? So Lubna says to allow them to be independent. Good. So we're kind of jumping ahead now into the what, why, hows of the critical thinking, which is fantastic. That's good. Now let's see if we can figure out what the topic is. Okay. So what are we really talking about here? Okay, so Ferdov says to raise successful children. Yeah, okay. So the topic, okay, let's simplify it, Ferdovs. So it's children's, starts with a D. Finish this word for me. It's one word, and that's the topic. And I have a feeling that many of you now will go, oh yeah, of course. So what are we talking about here? What is the hidden topic? It's not dependent. Okay, it's children's something, but it's not dependent, Elite. Think, think, think. Okay. It's not a P. It's not their dependence that we're talking about. Not decisions. Maybe the third letter. Okay, that's the third letter. All right, I bet now everybody will get it. I was kind of holding off on that third letter, hoping that it'll come to mind. But anyway, giving you a little bit more here. That's right, for Dobbs. Yeah, it's children's development, right? That's what we're talking about here. So we're talking about children's development, whether it's good to let them make their own decisions. Is that going to be a good effect on their development or not? Does everybody see that now? Okay, and all of the rest of that is the controlling idea. So the question doesn't clearly state this, and you have to be very careful when the topic is it's called a covert topic. Okay, it's of course much better when you have an overt topic, which is clearly in the question, but here it's not. So, and careful, because in university you will often face questions like this where it might not be an overt topic. That's one of the ways university is more challenging, of course. So I can rephrase. So the question that you sent, Abhishek, is like this. I had to make a couple corrections to it for the grammar, but the question that Abhishek sent was like this. However, if we wanted to make this easier for people in the IELTS, we could say some people believe that allowing children to make decisions on everyday matters is likely to result in a society is bad for their development and likely, right? So now I've named precisely the topic. Other people believe that it is important for children's development too. Do you see how when I added the topic directly into the question, it becomes a lot easier, right? Everybody sees that. But you might not be that lucky, okay? Especially students who are in the academic IELTS exam. You might not be so lucky because the IELTS people know that when you go to university in the US, UK, Australia, you will often face questions in your classes where you don't have a directly stated topic, so you have to identify it, okay? You now see that clearly, right? So all of the other parts, so everything that we read here and everything that we read here is really the controlling idea. Okay? All right? And I think, Abhishek, that's what was giving you a little bit of trouble here when you were working on this question. And I think that's probably why you sent it to me to discuss it in the class, because you were probably having a little bit of difficulty identifying exactly what this topic really is and what am I supposed to focus my essay on, right? What's the central concept or idea that should be in my essay? Okay. So again, go through those steps that I just showed you. Okay. Yeah, so I see that, Abhishek. Okay, so cool. So now we have the right topic. Now we have the right idea. Okay, so let's move along. So the topic is children's development. The controlling idea is whether or not controlling children's decisions leads to a positive development and society or not. Okay, so does everybody see the controlling idea now? Okay, and of course, your opinion. Okay. Actually, if I were to be a little bit more accurate, I should write it like this. Controlling idea is what controlling or not controlling children's decisions leads to in their and society's development. And your opinion. So that would be more accurate, okay, according to the question, right? Okay, so Abhishek is asking, so if I ask the question why this question is being asked, does it always help me with these? Yeah, absolutely. So just again, going back here, so this is what Abhishek is asking about, and it's a good question, Abhishek. So asking yourself, why is this essay aimed to discuss whether or not children should be allowed to make decisions, and asking what is the importance of this question, what is the end goal, that will definitely help you to identify the right topic. Yeah, so it's very, very important to do that. Okay, definitely. All right. Okay, so here we go. Why do some parents control their kids' everyday decisions. Okay, so let's do some question and answers here. And then we'll get cracking on our thesis and our introductory paragraph, okay? All right, so why do you think that is? Why do some people have this desire to really, no, you can't have chocolate ice cream, you have to have strawberry ice cream. No, you can't eat cereal for breakfast, you have to eat fruits and vegetables for breakfast. So why do certain parents make... Okay, so Ferdov says to make better decisions. Yeah, based on their greater experience, right, Ferdov? So eating fruits instead of chocolate for breakfast, right? Let's make it funny, make it memorable, okay? So Nick Hill says to teach them good manners to make better decisions. So we still have better decisions, okay? Abhishek says discipline, which can also be self-control. In the decision-making process. Okay. Okay, fair enough. All right. So let's ask the negative of this. Why can this be bad? Okay, so why can it be bad? Let's just go positive, negative, right? It's a good way to think about this, all right? So again, remember, I've shown you this, this kind of strategy before. It's called a chi-square, all right? In math, it's used fairly often, where you have this, okay? And you have parent decision, okay? And you have children decision, okay? And you have good, and you have bad, okay? And the parent decision, the good, is better choices. And you have discipline, okay? And then what's the bad? Okay, so children says dependency, lack of confidence. Okay, good. Yeah, so lacking confidence and dependency, absolutely. So good. Okay, so now we go through the same concept. So when children are allowed to make their own decisions, what's the good? Now, usually the way these chi-squares work, not always, it depends on the context, is the opposites like this, right? So the good of allowing children to make their own decisions is that they become independent, right? They might become more critical thinkers. They build confidence, okay? They learn from their failures. Yeah, exactly. So, okay, learn from failure, all right? Now, if we always make them let them make their own decisions, what are the negatives? Okay, always says make them lazy. That would be for this one as well, right? Okay, so the list goes on, of course. And then children's decisions, allowing them to make their own decisions. What's bad, right? Better choices, bad choices. If we allow them, they might make bad choices. For example, like eating too much sugar, right? Exactly. So Nick Hill says, choose the wrong path. Okay. All right. Or where they have discipline here, they might lack discipline, right? Okay. So those are also true. All right. So obviously there's good and bad to both. Now the question comes of, what do you believe? So if you're thinking about this, what do you believe? And one way to answer this, don't be too fast, okay? Don't be like, I believe this, all right? Is put yourself into the situation, all right? So when you have a situation where both are good and bad, all right? So have a situation where both sides have positives and negatives. Before you decide on your answer, I mean, which side you support, put yourself into the situation. Okay, so ask yourself, what would I do if I were the parent of 2 kids growing up? Okay, maybe you are. Maybe you do ask yourself this question, right? But anyway, ask yourself this question. So, what would you do? Okay, you're the parent, you're growing up. What would you do? How would you raise your child? Would you allow them to make their own decisions? Would you control all of their decisions? Okay, very good. So Fennel already coming up with this. So Fennel says, okay, there should be moderate involvement by parents. Okay. Okay, let's hear some more ideas. I like where you're going with this, Fennel. I'm a parent. I have 1 child so far. So I've had some experience with this so far, absolutely. And I've worked a lot with children, of course, in teaching as well. So Elite says, I believe children should be allowed to make their own decisions, but I will keep an eye on them and will stop them making decisions if they're wrong. Very nice, Elite. Okay, so Elite, that's a great answer. I love it. That's the way I raise my child as well. How can you say that in a shorter way? Okay, so you can actually say that in 2 words. Okay, you could say it like this. All right, let's see if somebody kind of figures out what that missing part of the word is there. So some kind of decisions. Yeah, very good. Yeah, a lot of you thought about that. So it's guidance, but here it's guided. So Fennel, very good. Guided decisions. Yeah, of course. So you want your child to become independent, and you don't want to force decisions on them. But of course, you're going to stop them from putting their hands into the fire, right? So you want to have guided decisions, right? That makes sense, okay? And I think that's a clever answer. Okay, so let's create our thesis based on all of this information. Now I think you have enough information to make or to write a good thesis. Now, before you write your thesis, always read the question again, especially when you're practicing at home, okay? So some people believe that allowing children to make decisions on everyday matters such as food, clothes, entertainment is likely to result in a society of individuals who only think about their own wishes. Other people believe that it is important for children to make decisions about matters that affect them. Discuss both these views and give your opinion. All right, so I think now you can write a really good thesis and not just repeat or just simply paraphrase this, but in fact create a good idea that will lead to a good high band essay, right? Okay, all right, while you write your thesis statement, I'm going to do the same and then we'll compare, all right? Okay, so trickier thesis for sure, but it is there. Okay, that Band 9 thesis is there as long as you're going through the steps of planning and you're practicing this at home. Okay, so here's my thesis, and then I'll take a look at yours. Okay, so certain individuals restrict their children's decisions because they want them to make sure that their kids always go down the right path. Others, however, give freedom of choice to their kids so that they develop independence. I believe a balance of both, whereby parents guide their children's decisions, is best for their development. There. Okay. All right. So Ferdov says, some people regulate their children's choices because they want to discipline their kids. And in this way, parents can help to make them better can help to make better choices. However, certain individuals deem that it is crucial to allow them to follow their judgments. I believe to allow kids. Yeah, we have to be really careful here with pronouns. You probably saw me correct there as well, Ferdov. So to allow kids to follow their judgments. I believe that parents should use both approaches and it is most beneficial for children's development. Notice Ferdov's, you did a good job here, and notice how yours, by the way, Ferdov's is almost the same as mine, right? And notice how both of us end with the word development. Brilliant. And I can tell by the speed of your response, Ferdov's, that you weren't looking at mine. You were just typing up your own at the same time. Notice, members, how Ferdov's and me have almost the exact same thesis statement, but with slightly different words and grammar. That's a really good indication that you have the right thesis statement for a Band 9. And notice how both Ferdov's and I both end with the word development, okay, which is the topic, right? That's really what we're talking about here is children's development, right? And both of us end on the topic of this essay. Okay? Does everybody see that? That's quite interesting. And it's very interesting, Ferdov's, how close yours is to mine. Okay? And also interesting how you decided that it's best to write this in 2 sentences as well. Okay? Fantastic. Brilliant, Ferdov's. Very good. All right. So that's the thesis. Now, it's a long thesis. So because it's a long thesis, we can keep the hook and the background a little bit shorter. If you're still writing your thesis, that's totally fine. I'm just going to write the introduction so we get that out of the way today. Okay. So, introduction hook, a simple hook with 8 to 12 words that introduces the topic. Okay. So, okay, there it is. So that's my hook. I'm going to keep it really simple. The goal of good parenting is to empower children to develop well. Okay. Maksud says, in the current generation, upbringing a child plays a crucial role in human life. Maksud, I changed that a little bit. So in the current generation, upbringing a child depends on decision making. Okay? Maybe something like that. Fennel says, parenting directly affects children's development. Yeah, very good, Fennel. That'll work. Okay? Or if we want to be a little bit better there, Fennel, we could say parenting styles. Parenting styles directly affect children's development. Okay? Abhishek says, children's development is an integral decision of every parent in the world. Optimal. Children's optimal development is an integral decision. Okay, Abhishek, put the word optimal between children and development, and I think you have a very good hook. Children's optimal development is an integral decision. Optimal means the best or the best way. Okay, so optimal. All right, now I'm going to keep my background here very, very simple. Okay, so all humans are required to make millions of decisions throughout their lives. And their capacity to do this has a direct effect on their happiness and success. Okay, so this is my background. Now notice how I'm being really concise and simple here because I've got a lengthy thesis statement and I don't want my introductory paragraph to be 100 words, okay? You want your introductory paragraph to be maybe 70, 80 words maximum, okay? It shouldn't be too short because you're introducing a lot of concepts here, all right? Okay, so I'm going to now grab my thesis and I'm just going to stick it right at the end here, okay? And there is my Band 9 introduction. And if you're wondering about the word count, it's 90, okay, which is fine, okay? It's important to have a good introduction, all right? Remember, a good essay will be closer to 300, 310 words, so having 90 for your introduction is not all that bad. All right, here we go. So read with me. The goal of good parenting is empowering children to develop well. All humans are required to make millions of decisions throughout their lives, and their capacity to do this has a direct effect on their happiness and success. Certain individuals restrict their children's decisions because they want to make sure that their kids always go down the right path. Others, however, give freedom of choice to their kids so that they develop independence. I believe that a balance of both, whereby parents guide their children's decisions, is best for children's development. All right. That will definitely set you on path for that Band 9 essay. Now, as Ferdow's proved, there are other ways to write this. Okay, this is just one way. Definitely the right way to be on a path to a Band 9 is to go through these steps that I showed you today, okay? So some really nice work, members, and once I kind of guided your decisions on the question and your thinking, you were able to come up with some really good ideas. When you practice this again and again at home, you too will be able to make the right questions and right decisions about the question of task 2, the topic, and then come up with correct answers that will lead you onto a path of success and happiness for your scores and your performance, okay? So keep practicing this, all right? Tomorrow, members, will continue with this, and we'll get into the body paragraphs. Body paragraph 1, 2, maybe 3. We'll decide how many body paragraphs we need for this, okay? And then we'll complete the essay with a conclusion to get that nice high band score, okay? All right, stick around, everyone. So coming up in about 30 minutes, I will host one more class, which will be the listening section practice for parts 1 and 2. Of course, all of this material and help is presented to you by aehelp.com for academic IELTS. Check us out there for all of my videos, other teachers, and lots of practice exams as well. gltshelp.com for general IELTS, okay? And again, stick around. I'll be back in half an hour with some listening. Thank you so much, members, for your participation and your energy. Hopefully, I'll see most of you soon. I'm Adrian, signing out for now. Bye.